This is the Tree of Life, Season 26, Chapter 5. In this episode, we will be talking about Fermat's principle and infinite recursion. Fermat's principle states that the path taken by a ray between two given points is the path that can be traveled in the least time. Fermat's principle was applied to optics to explain the ordinary refraction of light. But it also implies optimization, that nature's ability to test alternate paths is merely a fundamental property of waves. Now, if you imagine a sequential substitution event without integration, that you negate an impulse, entering a substitution event, where this substitution event leads to infinite recursion. You must imagine that the reverse substitution event which preceded it entails the participation within a waveform through a medium, being the class of subjects described by all incoming and outgoing consciousnesses. Thus, this participation entails a prediction about the path you will follow, recurrence of the impulse, and the past which preceded it. If you imagine that in negation creating a bubble universe entails the manifestation of a distinct medium, namely your action, distinct from that which preceded the substitution event, then it is possible to see that the manifold paths of infinite recursion are the product of this fundamental property of waves. More importantly, as we observed previously, the path that you recall is path parsimony, that is, the simplest path, whilst the path recalled outside the medium is that of time parsimony, being the simplest path of time. Thus, if you imagine that since each negation leads to a convoluted path, and each convoluted path leads to further negation, each path represents a distinct medium. Now a French mathematician Maupertuis adapted Fermat's principle to say that the path followed by a physical system is the one of least length. This accords with path parsimony. That is, the Maupertuis principle explains why the negating individual recalls path parsimony, where the subject behaves as a particle rather than as a wave. This is exactly what we observed when we described the negation as a partial measurement, and the acquiescence at the conclusion of the event as a measurement reversal. That's the end of the podcast for today.